been combating the abuse of children from all across the UK. I am myself from Rochdale. Rochdale was a severe town that was affected by the abuse of children. Started with the guy called Cyril Smith, who came to Rochdale and thought it was okay to set up his school and start abusing my brother and their friends. It happened for over 40 years where he was abusing young boys from No Abuse School. To this day, after hundreds of boys have been abused, not one person has been held to account. I can't leave that alone. I can't walk away. I can't make my fight about one cause. This is about all causes of abuses of children. This is why we're putting down the Northern Tour. Is everyone cameras all right?
Yeah, perfect.
The Northern Tour is about raising awareness and about preventing this from being another generation ruined by the abuse of our children. So this is why we're making stands in town centres all across the north of England, soon to be the south as well. The numbers need to be bigger, I get it, but we're here and it's not about quantity, it's about the quality of people. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for each and every one of you here today. Thank you. I want a special mention for two people, Andy and Teresa, who've come all the way. I can't find them. Put your hands up. I've got a message from you from our friend Tony. He said thank you. He's humbled that you come 150 miles to come and stand with us. That is amazing. We love you and we're very humbled that you're here today, and I want to thank the pair of you. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Teresa. So guys, we're going to get moving quicker. Yeah. When you eat a tin of beans, you don't know which bean made you fart, mate. You nearly fell over as well, that'd have been funny. Right guys, so yeah, regardless of outside noise, we're not here for them. We're here to stand against the abuse of children. That's all that matters. So I'm going to bring my first speaker up. But before I do, I want to speak a little bit about the man who I'm going to bring up to speak. The man has made a stand against children for years. This is why we liaise with the police to prevent this, and this is why. Where are the police? Guys, I do have to put you on hold 1 second, sorry.
Is there someone here who shouldn't be here?
Don't be itching in there. So, guys, there's no one more important today than the person stood in front of you speaking. If that happens when one of the survivors, I'm alright, I'm used to I'm long in the tooth in this, but if there's a survivor stood here talking to you, you've got to ignore that and you've got to focus on the survivor, because it's not easy to stand in front of you guys and speak, especially in a centre as big as this. That's a beautiful building, by the way. Bolton's a beautiful place, it's worth saving, and it's only going to be us who save us. Ladies and gentlemen, the state has failed our children. We are the last line of defence. I keep saying it, but it's true. We are the last line of defence because no one else is going to protect our children other than us. If we all give up and go home, they've got nobody. They have nobody. So I'm going to make a stand with PAG UK, with the Pink Ladies, and with anyone else that wants to join us in this march forward. So again, I'm going to get back to our first speaker, who stood as a Greater Manchester Police and Crime Commissioner. There was nobody in this world that wanted to win an election more than he, because if he hadn't won, we'd have had an inquiry 2 years ago, I'd say. But it's also his birthday. So we're going to give him an happy birthday when he comes over. So Nick Buckley, please come to the mic. And everybody, happy birthday.
Don't be singing, don't be singing.
Yeah, no.
Billy, stay in front of the lamppost, Bill. I'll send you a copy. If I knew that was going to happen, I wouldn't have come.
Don't be silly.
Thank you, everybody. As Billy said, my name's Nick Buckley. I stood for Mayor of Greater Manchester a couple of years ago against Andy Burnham for the second time. Obviously didn't win, but if I had have won, I was going to hold Greater Manchester Police to account, because that's one of the only things the Mayor can really do. He's in charge of Greater Manchester Police. The only person he can sack is the Chief Constable, and I'd have held the Chief Constable accountable to get to the bottom of what went on. We would have the full public inquiry with survivors and other people sat on the committee looking at the police, looking at the reports. That's the only way we're ever going to deal with this, is to ensure finally we get people to be held accountable. I mean, I've said this for years now. I want senior police officers in the dock. I want senior politicians and local councillors in the dock. I want council managers in the dock. They may not be guilty, but you know what? I want barristers asking them questions and holding them accountable, and let's get to the truth. And if they ignored what went on, or they turned a blind eye, or they were involved, because some of these people were actively involved in the abuse of children. And if they were any of those things, I want jail sentences, I want pension strips. And that's not just because of this case, that's how we get a better state. By the civil service who work for us, understanding that if they cross the line, they end up in jail. Not like it is at the moment, where they get a golden handshake and they disappear with a pension and we never hear of them again. That's not good enough. But I'm here today for the same reason you're here. I'm here today because of children. Not certain children, but all children in this country. I don't care who those children are, ethnicities, religions, political affiliations of their parents. I don't care. I think all of us, and that's why you're here today, we all should be protecting everyone's children, not just our own, because that's what a society does. That's how we develop a decent society, by everybody, but especially men, protecting everyone else around them. There was a very brave gentleman a couple of weeks ago. Is that better? Yeah. There was a very brave gentleman a couple of weeks ago, gave his story to the press. He was an Asian Muslim man from this area, and he was abused as a child. He was groomed by the same people who are grooming other people's children, and now he's spoken out to the press. It's not just about a certain ethnicity, he's now a broken man. The things they did to him as a boy, absolutely disgraceful, just like they did with other people's children. And it's not just about the Pakistani grooming gangs, it's about people like Cyril Smith, as Billy said. You know, it's about, it's about, who's the guy who did Jim Will Fix It?
Jimmy Savile.
Jimmy Savile. It's about Jimmy Savile. It's about, there's paedophiles in all communities and all groups, and we've got to sort them all out. Now, at the moment, a couple of weeks ago, the Labour government, with its arms tied behind its back, screaming and shouting, finally launched their inquiry. Finally launched it. We all know it's going to be a whitewash.
Yep.
We all know it's going to be rubbish, but that's not the point. The point is we forced them to do that. The people here all contributed to force